What's up, guys? We're here at Coastal Carolina talking with Associate AD of Media and Communications, Mike Uva, giving us a tour of the football facility. Can't wait.
No, we're excited to have you guys. I mean, obviously a lot of fun things going on right now at Coastal, especially with our football program, new head coach, so excited to show you guys around. Cool thing right here is all the bowls, and obviously we've only been an FBS program for the last couple of years. We moved on up in 2017 after being in the Big South. So you look at the first one in program history in 2021, that was the Cure Bowl. You have the one out in Hawaii a couple of years back in 23, and you have the blank one, right? You know, a new one coming, and that's kind of just the motivation. And again, we talked about the signage before. A lot of things are changing right now because you have a new coaching staff coming in and trying to bring what they want to be able to have on the messaging and just around the program and the building and being able to remind these players. And speaking about reminding players, I mean, this thing's really cool because there was so much success going back to the Big South days when they were an FCS program and being able to compete. So it's a daily reminder to the players every day they come up in here, and, you know, you have the team meeting room not too far away, so they walk by this every day. And being able to have the Sun Belt Championship trophy from 2020, that is what obviously these players are striving for, and they want more. They want to be able to make the college football playoff as well. So, but yeah, neat being able to see all the different rings, conference championship rings going back to the Big South days, Sun Belt Championship ring, and then of course the bowl rings as well.
Dominant in the Big South.
Yeah, Big South, they were very good. You know, Joe Moglia, and you'll see some of the slogans still that he brought. The BAM, be a man. That was one of the things that he created when he was here.
And that's still here now.
You still see it around the building. I mean, It's, again, a lot of movement right now with the new coaching staff coming in and different signage. Like this wall was covered with stuff. Pillars were covered. So different things going up, coming down.
Now, will this stuff be replaced at all, or is that's pretty permanent?
I think this one will probably be staying here for a little bit, but again, there's so much, and I think that's another thing too in the era that we're in right now with the transfer portal. You know, you have players that were here for 3+ years, and now you have some guys that are only here for a year. So I think you're also trying to figure out, you know, being able to recognize the players when they do well, but of course some guys end up leaving after a year, you know, and that's one of the challenges you face too when you're in a group of 5.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
now what's been your experience with the, you know, talking to all the coaches? Do they enjoy this era of college football, or is it better the old ways when
I don't think you have a choice of it, whether you enjoy it or not. You got to be able to adapt, right? I think that's what it comes down to more than anything. I mean, if you want to be able to coach college football, especially at this level, it's a privilege, and I think every single one of them would tell you that. So this is the team meeting room. Got the AC blaring right now because, as you could tell, being in the South, it gets hot. All 3 of these display screens, they come down, right? You got the projectors built into the walls. So we'll hold our team meetings here. And again, one of the challenges sometimes when you're at a group of 5 school is being able to make the most out of the space you have. So we also do press conferences in here. Okay. We've had extra space up here. We'll do sometimes with the media will be here, and this is they'll be able to observe the game. So, you know, you make the most out of what you got. It's a gorgeous room. Sits over 100 players, which is exactly what you need from a team meeting room standpoint. We also have positional meeting rooms. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. Got the school fight song on the wall, and then again, you keep seeing out hit, out hustle. One of the big things that Coach Beard has talked about since arriving here back in December. So, you know, one of the neat things, I came in for a meeting about a month and a half ago, and this just goes to show the era that we're in now. I came in, and you'll have like a QR code up, and the players are checking themselves in. Really? You know what I mean? To make sure that they're here for the meeting. Cool. So, you know, get the phone, check in. So again, I mean, that's just accountability, all the little things. And, you know, I'm sure there's other schools across the country that do that, but I thought that was pretty neat because, again, I mean, being in the role that I'm in after being a reporter for 10+ years, a lot has changed since I played college ball. We weren't doing that, right?
Definitely.
So in addition to the team room that we showed you guys earlier, you got the individual positional meeting rooms. And I think the neat thing too is when you come in here, right, seats are the same way that you see in the team meeting room that has the 100+, but obviously it's catered to how many players you have per your positional group, right? So offensive line, they're going to have a little bit more than a QB room.
Yep.
If you go down the hall and see Coach Petrino's office, some of the former offensive linemen, the guys that came before you, they're reminded of it every day, right? Especially going back to those Big South days and some of the championship teams we were able to put together here. I mean, we had years where, we were top 10 in the country for fewest sacks allowed. So, I mean, you got some pretty talented guys up on that wall to constantly remind you just how talented Coastal has been in terms of producing offensive linemen.
You guys remember the Revolution helmets, like the regular Revolutions?
Oh, yeah.
Those are cool. Then the speeds came into play.
And then, of course, every room when you walk on out coming in, you got the snacks. I mean, some coaches do it a little bit differently, but it's more so the nutritional staff. The nutritional staff will put it here, but some of the coaches, they'll add some stuff too. I've noticed over my short period of time being here. Obviously the teal, I mean, that's the big thing, and you see the teal everywhere. It's something that we embrace here, certainly, whether it be the turf, whether it be even our Gatorade. We'll mix, two different Gatorades, so you get that teal look in the Gatorade. That was something that G-Fed actually shared when he came out for the spring game, the guy that goes into all the different stadiums. So, again, we embrace it. I mean, it's Tuesday here. We call it Teal Tuesday. You'll notice everyone wearing teal throughout the campus. That's just something that we lean into more than anything.
Do you know how many uniform combinations there are?
If we have our equipment guy downstairs, he'll be able to tell you. I know we have white jerseys, we have teal jerseys, and we have black jerseys. Teal pants, black pants, and white pants. Teal helmet, black helmet, white helmet. And then, we've done some different looks over the years. Like last year, we had the special glow-in-the-dark jerseys that were white. Those were a unique situation, right? Because that was a one-time deal.
Yeah.
With the helmets that we also had that game, same white. The decal that we put on the helmet, though, was a little different. It had this kind of glow-in-the-dark kind of effect to it. So,
who came up with that?
Our athletic director, Chance Miller.
Cool.
Guy comes up with some crazy ideas. But the neat thing was we actually flew up to Sports Center that Friday, and then we were on Saturday morning, and Randy Scott, and then they put it on, which was awesome. Gary Streisky, they had it on. They put the jerseys on, which is real cool to have it on Sports Center leading into college game day. So, I mean, that's what we're trying to do around here, though. We try to do different things. We don't try to do the status quo, and especially as a group of 5 school, I feel like in this era when you're talking about being able to bring notoriety, when you're talking about trying to find ways to generate revenue that can go back to the program, especially when it comes to NIL, you need to do things a little bit different. And I think, even if you're a Power 4 school, I think being able to do things a little different. Now, at the end of the day, you're winning games. That's what's going to help more than anything. But as Chance always talks about, we can only control so much. We can't control what an 18 to 23-year-old kid does on a Saturday. But in terms of what we can do as a department, from marketing to communications and everyone else that's in that building, ticketing, we can control being able to create an environment that hopefully people will feel like when they go to a football game, they're going to say, man, I saw a football game at a rock concert. That's kind of just the mentality that he has. And that's one of the main reasons I came over and left doing what I was doing for so many years, because I saw what he did at South Carolina when he was the number 2 guy, when he was the associate athletic director at South Carolina. He did some of those things, the free concessions for basketball, and then he did it for a whole football season, for crying out loud. So, those are the crazy ideas that he's constantly coming up with. And I think more than anything, people are, they understand his vision, and we're all aligned. And I think it's very important, because if you just have one person that's just like, hey, this is how we're going to do it, and everyone's kind of like, this guy's just crazy, which I think we all think that he's crazy in the best way possible. But if they don't believe in the same vision, then we're not going to be able to go anywhere. So the neat thing was, they keep talking about those glow-in-the-dark jerseys.
Yeah.
For the Halloween game last year, we played Marshall. But they shut all the lights off here. We had about 20-something staffers, and they're just wanding people down, getting them to be able to charge.
Okay.
And they came down here, which was really neat, but this is where we did it all right here.
All right.
Had to shut every dang light off. You know, this is where the team will come back in after the game. Coach will be right here. The players are all right here. It's a cool feeling, especially after those wins. I remember talking about favorite moments, too, being able to become bowl eligible.
Yeah.
Coming in here and just the celebration in the locker room right after the game, that was pretty special. I'll have the lights on here, the light fixtures.
Yeah.
So come on out. What's going on, man? So you put the lights right here. Players will come on down. And we've had different conversations, different talks about potentially closing this off, putting turf down here. I mean,
like closing it this way so nobody can
see. Well, closing that off up here and kind of just making this an extension for players to be able to come out here and warm up.
Gotcha.
Kind of just different things they can get loose. Because we do have the gates right there. Sometimes you'll have foot traffic. Try to block it off.
What would be your favorite part about a Coastal game day experience?
I just think being able, like when the Here Comes the Rooster comes on, you know, and you have the engines going with the motorcycles. I mean, it's pretty special. It's a unique entrance. Certainly when you think of the Conway, Myrtle Beach area, I mean, there are so many people. I mean, we have Bike Week, for crying out loud, coming up soon.
Yeah.
In Myrtle Beach. So there's so many people, a lot of those people, veterans that are bringing their bikes out. I don't know if people outside of this area know it very well, but, you know, this is a heavy veteran population down here as well. So being able to bring people out that have served and being able to be part of the entrance is real special too. But yeah, I mean, there's just been so much growth in this stadium. I mean, you saw some of the photos before they moved up to FBS. I mean, that second deck, that didn't exist.
Same thing over there. Second deck didn't, like, it was just the one.
Well, they've gone up.
Yeah.
But it was just like mainly like just right here. And then going back to the days, you saw Everett Sands, the running back coach. He played high school football here in Conway, and he remembered back in the day, the field used to actually run this way. So they used to, you know, call it the graveyard because you got the graveyard literally right on the other side of it, the cemetery. So they used to run from the cemetery heading towards the baseball stadium. And this was all grass.
The teal it pops.
And the other thing, too, that I like about it is, you know, the turf is starting to get to that point where, you know, you're breaking it in. We have a couple different sports that play on it. Of course, you can see the lacrosse lines on the field. For turf that's, you know, less than a year old, it feels real good. You know, sometimes you get that turf that's brand new and it's not broken in yet. You know, all our guys that talk about, we just had an NFL player here work out, Super Bowl champion of the Eagles a couple of years back. He was running routes and he really enjoyed being able to run on it. It's a really cool game day experience. We play a lot of our games at night, or at least that's what Chance has tried to do the best he can, especially with some of our new features. So the lights, and you've seen this throughout college football, more schools are doing it. We added it last year. We had brand new lights that went in and that were installed, and it has that teal. So you have that kind of that light show.
Yeah.
Again, we have a bunch of new ideas that are going to be rolled out this year, but that's one feature in particular that we've heard a lot of cool feedback, but obviously it looks good at night.
Yeah,
you can't really do that during the day. It's not going to pop the same way.
It feels like the fans are right on top of you here. Like the sidelines feels tight.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
The student section has been over here. The Conwave. We'll put the DJ up there right above that Conwave sign. So we have an in-stadium DJ. We have the marching band here as well. I mean, last year, beginning of the year, you know, two games in particular, whether it be Charleston Southern or ECU. I mean, the crowds that we had here, some of the biggest we've ever had in program history. So, I think a lot of that has to do with, again, the vision that starts with the athletic director, Chance, and some of the things that he has up his sleeves that he's been able to kind of roll out as far as creating kind of that notoriety. We had people come out that weren't necessarily Coastal fans, but they wanted to come out and see what the freaking sessions were all about. And they come out here and they see the Teal Turf, they see the entrance, they see everything else, and just the pageantry that we've been able to create as a department over the last just about 2 years, because Chance has been now here for 2 football seasons. I mean, this upcoming year, we have meetings coming up tomorrow on Wednesday, and we're already looking ahead to, okay, what are we going to do? We want to be able to go through game by game of how we're going to lay this thing out. And I'm sure there'll be some crazy ideas that won't be necessarily finalized on Wednesday during that meeting, but at least we'll have a better idea. And there's already been some conversation. So, there's going to be a lot of crazy things here. And certainly what you hope for more than anything is a team that can win.
Yeah.
And certainly we feel like we have that guy with a new head coach and the staff that Ryan Beard's been able to bring in and the players that we were both able to retain, as well as the additions to the transfer portal and the high school ranks. So you put that all together, man, it's going to be fun. I mean, we have 2 games next year that are going to be played on national television. We'll have those dates that'll be coming out, but yeah, we're really excited.
So when does football work out in here?
Football's working out in here constantly. I mean, that's the beauty with being able to have, this right next to our football locker room. You'll see players come in. I mean, obviously you'll have team workouts right now, 3 days a week. Then you'll have some extra time where they're coming in 2 times additional workouts. But I think the beauty is with football is you're able to bring the whole team in here and you're seeing them do it in the morning and they're able to go out to classes. I mean, you talk to different sports. I know baseball in particular, a lot of them will do their classes in the morning. Football, a lot of their classes are in the afternoon. And it's all based around the scheduling, which is football practice, whether it be the spring, whether it be the fall. So right now, a little bit quieter. We just finished up, of course, spring ball. But the players, they'll be attacking it in the morning, and we have a brand new strength and conditioning coach. And as you can see, there's a lot of equipment. A lot of the stuff that you're seeing right up against the windows, a lot of this is new equipment that the new strength and conditioning staff wanted to bring in. And, the beauty is a lot of it is designed to help our football players, but at the same time too, because outside of women's golf and baseball, all the other teams, they work out in here, so they have the ability to use these tools as well, which is pretty neat.
Cool, awesome. Now the big question here too, because we were driving in, we were listening to videos on Coastal and like ESPN, different clips. Is it Chanticleers?
Chanticleers.
Chanticleers.
Shot.
The guy on ESPN was saying it wrong.
Chanticleers.
Chanticleers.
There's a great clip of our baseball coach Kevin Schnall, and he's like, "Say it with me, Chanticleers, Chanticleers." So we're the shots.
So you go Shant's up.
Shant's up.
Shant's up. Not chance up. Shant's up.